So I think we've all been told it's really important that you clear your hips in the golf swing. And when we watch the best players in the world, they make it look so easy, so effortless, and create some amazingly powerful golf swings that hit great shots. But unfortunately, if you're watching this, you probably find it really difficult to do, but could definitely do with making it easier. So in this video, I'm going to show you a little cheat at setup that's going to make it easier to turn those hips out of the way, but also help you explain how you're going to do it more regularly to create powerful and consistent golf shots every single time. So let's initially look at a couple of shots. First of all, where I kind of don't turn my hips out of the way, and then secondly, when I do, just to show you the difference this can make in your golf shots. So I'm going to set up, as I see a lot of golfers set up, and make a swing where I find it difficult to do. And there's generally a lack of quality strike, decent club head speed there, but club face wide open, path out to in, and just generally not a very good shot. But I'm going to make a little tweak to my setup and then show you when I've got the ability to turn the hips out the way, the difference it makes with the shot. And we can see a pickup in club head speed, face and path very much different, big carry at 162, total at 175. So we can see power and control. So what are we talking about turning the hips out of the way? And most importantly, can we do it the correct way? Because when you do it wrong, it can be an absolute killer. So if I went into my address position, and we'll be able to see face on and down the line here, what we see with golfers at impact that struggle is as they come into impact, we can see that the shaft will be very upright. We can see very much belt buckle towards the camera, and down the line, you can just see kind of nothing really there. But the better players in the world, you'll see this at impact. So much more shaft lean. We can see my belt buckle much more like 45 degrees out in front of me, and certainly can see my left butt cheek. Not actually, but you see the trousers there. So a very, very different position. Now, the initial problem I get told with a lot of golfers is that they're just not flexible enough for that. So a great way of checking how flexible that left hip is to pop a club across, get your left foot pointing straight out in front and just balance on your right toe, and then just turn out of the way. And you should be able to get kind of nearly 60 degrees of rotation with the left foot flat on the floor. But you can see for me there, my foot's already starting to roll. So my internal rotation with my left hip is a little tight. So this is the kind of cheat I'm talking about. So if I went there and actually turned my left foot out and then turn, you can see how much more range of motion I've got. So the first thing I would want golfers to do that struggle turning out the way is from that initial address position where they get the toes very much out in front, I want to turn that left foot out, maybe 10, even 15 degrees. Now it might change a little bit of the backswing, but the first thing I would want you to do from there is to do a couple of practice swings. And the first thing you tend to notice with golfers is straight away how that belt buckle finishes more at the target. Whereas when that left foot's too turned in, we can see that belt buckle maybe only 20 degrees out in front. So we're going to turn that left foot out, and straight away, I'm not saying this is happening at the right time, but very different the way we can finish. And instantly for golfers, when you get that at address, we start to see a little bit more power, good strike, and a pickup in distance instantly. And as a coach, I always love if we can tweak something at address that makes you swing it better, more importantly, differently, that's going to help you hit good shots. And for, I would say, 99% of golfers, turning that left foot out straight away gives you better range of motion and will instantly improve your shots. So then once we've got the ability to do it, it then comes down to, can we actually do it correctly? So again, we'll talk about what golfers do wrong first of all. So a lot of golfers will tell me that they know that their path, the club gets thrown out, works across, and then obviously dependent on club face will be the shot. But a lot of golfers will get there, swing to the top, and their first thought is to turn their hips out of the way. Now, when I do that, can we see where that club's going? There's only one place, out and across. So the best players in the world don't actually do that. So the best players in the world, they'll move to the top of their backswing, and actually the chest will stay looking away as the weight moves down and towards the target. And when that happens, we can see how that club starts moving down. Now, as I start to turn my hips, the club comes back out in front, and that's much, much better. And there's a key there, certainly face on. When we get here and spin out, we have to release the club really early, and we see that horrible weak position. But if we can get there, upper body stays back, and we drive, then we start to turn out of the way, we can see that lovely, powerful impact position that we would see with the best players in the world. So again, we're going to do a couple of practice swings. Left foot out. And even for me there, that actually feels like I move a lot more that way before anything else happens. Really nice. And don't ever worry, lots of golfers get told about don't slide towards the target. Just change the word. Use glide rather than slide. Get that lower body going. Strike will be better, speed will be better. So once you get into the golf ball, left foot out, focus on that move, and then we can turn the hip out of the way. Love that. It's a really good club head speed, low point nicely ahead, very neutral delivery, nearly 170 carry. And literally feels like I'm putting no effort in that golf swing. And I've had videos just during this video showing Tiger and Rory. Now, obviously, unbelievable athletes, highly skilled, but both of them make it look incredibly easy and effortless to create that speed. And when they're making those movements, they're using the ground better, getting that energy up through the body. So I don't want to see golfers stood there, really putting everything into it. So I really feel like I've hit that hard. 84 mile an hour, which is great, but 113 carry, and it just feels like a lot of effort, poor delivery for a very poor result. Now, obviously, even the best players in the world, pay attention to that front foot. You'll notice how it's just out a little bit. Very few of the top players have that foot nice and square, but you might need to do it a little bit more than them. So again, we're going to set up, focus on making a good movement. 85 mile an hour, 4.7 inches ahead, very neutral delivery, and 171 carry. And I think the key thing to remember when you look at the best players in the world, you're not necessarily going to do it exactly like them, because it's about letting your body do what it's capable of. But there's definitely some similarities we can see between what you should be doing and what the best players in the world do. And like I said, I feel if you can get that left foot turned out straight away, even at address, if I just turn out the way, I can see how much potentially I could get my hips out the way, both face on and down the line. Whereas if I square my foot up, I'm much more limited, feels very, very tight on that side. So anything to make it easier for the body to move well. So again, we're going to set up, turn that left foot out, move, then turn. And if you can do that, you just might hit some of the best shots that you've ever hit.